I'm talking to an audience. All right, come one, come all to USA Team Handball. My name's Kurt Schaefer, and up on deck next, you can go ahead and ignore that score bug right there. We have the DC Diplomats versus Denver Wolves. Is Denver Wolves side sporting some jerseys I've never seen before of theirs. We're going to get those colors set for you as well. DC is going to be red, like the red on their uniforms. Denver will be gold, like the gold on theirs. And we're going to shorten that name down a little bit so it isn't as interesting looking. Let's go with the title cards for both sides. Diplomats versus Wolves. How about that? I think I like that. Well, as we get into the last few minutes here before we will get the game under wraps, very solid play out of Minnesota last game. After a little bit of a comeback win there against Army West Point Black, you got to think that they're having some high hopes here. Not so much for the Denver Wolves, as their performance last night did not go as they wished it did, dropping that late evening game against the Chicago Inter. However, worth noting, Denver's got some new guys on their bench today, including but not limited to, well, it's not listed on my team sheet, the brother of Bombo Drame. Bombo Drame is in attendance. He will not be playing today. He is injured still. Bombo Drame's brother hyped up as being better than he is. We'll see how true that is. If so, it would make him the third, if not second, if not first, best player in the United States. Gearing up for Denver. Starting out today, Mr. Drame himself looking at number 88, Noyler Castaneda at 99. We have Nick Hernandez sitting at what it looks like 3, Patrick Lauritsen, Jake Lass, and of course, Captain Moshe Mukori. Over on the over on the DC side of things, we have number 10, Ruben Ortega, number 11, Juan Astagiano, number 15, Colin Canning, number 19, Muhammad Aziz Hayam, number 20, Charlie Jones, number 22, Luis Disongo, apologies, number 23, Zachary Greenstein, number 24, Roger Pojidas y Rayo, number 34, Alejandro Garcia Ucera, number 44, Abdul Rauf Mohammed, number 52, Baptiste Kinsler, number 53, John Bilal, number 67, Jeff Langrock, number 78, Michael Daniel, number 81, Anthony Vrablicki, and finally rounding out the list, number 98, Elise Forati. Official A for the DC team is Ozan Kanshulum, and official B is Fayak Forog. Denver listing official A's Mike Kavanaugh of U.S. Air Force fame. And as the score sits at 0-all, I will once again fix that for you guys. Apologies. We're going to go ahead and get that match time started first period. Men's Elite Division games are full match games. Full 30-minute halves for both sides here today, which means full 30-minute halves of handball for you. I had to call the top office to make sure that was done just for your viewing pleasure. As DC sits on defense, still 0-0. Denver looks to Lauritsen, passes out to Drame. Drame to Lauritsen. Dishes to Lass, finds McCory. McCory unable to score, back to Lass. They cycle around. Lauritsen jumps on it. He's able to hold it. Gets a pass out to Castaneda. Over to Drame. Drame. Lauritsen. Lass. Dish to McCory, and that one's out of bounds. Does not go. Yeah, I think I need to get a dual speaking mic. If I had one, I could plug it in right here. Unfortunately, I am broke. And after the amount of money I had to spend on gas and whatnot to get out here. Yeah, it's going to be a paycheck or two before I can get another microphone. That'll be a timeout on a hard play by the referee. Still null all. 27:01. 27:01 left as the DC player goes down. Hoping he can get up on his own power. It looks like he's sitting up on his own. That's number 19, Muhammad Aziz Hayam. And he is able to get up under his own power. And he will walk off the court. As a reminder, for those of you at home who don't know the rules, if a injured player is able to get up and continue, they still must sit out for 3 possessions. It is not the same as a 2-minute. DC number 11 to the line. That's Juan Astesiano. And the referee is communicating with the sideline. Sideline doesn't like the call. Pulls in the referee to discuss some things. The rules and bylaws and legality of handball always in question when Denver Wolves are playing. They do love their legalese as much as they can get it. And DC, not anything apart the same. There we go. Astagiano is the first to draw blood in this tournament for the Diplomats. Denver now, again, from the back. Drame goes Castaneda. Castaneda goes through, and he'll draw the 9. Denver now. Restarts. Hernandez in the middle. And I don't have the timer up for it, but yes, Denver was assessed a 2-minute on that one before he will sit. Drame, jump shot. Oh, Drame, the first to put one on the board for the Wolves. As Washington gets their first taste of the little brother of Bombo Drame. DC now, down to the wing. Wing shot, jump shot, goal for Washington. The Diplomats take their lead right back. And Denver, slow to the line. We'll restart this one. Loudon in possession. Following on its left flank. Back to the middle. They're playing without the wing position, not making any further adjustment there. Drame tries to go through. Last with the rebound. Goal. Both sides. Shot after shot. 11 now. Yep, there we go. Shot after shot after shot with a goal for Juan Astagiano. This one's all tied up at 3. This looks far much more like a men's elite match than what we had last night on any of the 3 courts. Lauritsen goes to last. McCory checks back in after the 2. Lauritsen. Last. Drame. Drame lines up. He looks. He passes. Lauritsen goes to the wing. And McCory's shot is saved by the goalie. Between the sticks for New York. Goodness gracious. Between the sticks for the Diplomats. Number 34, Alejandro Garcia Uceda. DC now. Denver playing 1 man out. DC pitches to the center, and they get it through the pivot. It'll be 4-2 for the Diplomats. Denver defense unable to stop DC through the center. Totally different than what we were saying through the men's national teams. The men's national teams, the U.S. didn't let anything through. Strong defenses also by Canada, a little bit even by Greenland and Mexico. But men's elite divisions, those centers are a lot more open. All right, that ball goes out of bounds. It'll be DC possession. DC now tries to find their man in this pivot spot, doesn't get there. Castaneda on a breakaway. He gets his reset foul. Hernandez to take. And Drame now in possession. New player number 23, Alejandro, is all I know him as. Jump shot, no go. Jump shot, no go again. Denver shot goes over. And as we go in now, still over 2/3 of this one left. DC now on the attack. They want to find something, and they want to find something fast. Kinsler gets it to go. 5-2 to DC. Polcher starts this one back. Feeds it to Hernandez. Goes to Alejandro, who starts it again. Drame. He had an immediate impact. He's been a little quiet since. We will see if that changes here. And Last tries to find the wing there. He's not able to. DC now on the move. DC goes out to the left. Left back swims through. Swim move, goal. And that's another one for the Diplomats. DC running rampant on Denver right now. Denver has enough firepower to get it done. But it seems to be that firepower has been pretty short-sighted right now. We'll see if they can fix that here shortly. Lauritsen checks back in as center back. Hernandez pivot cross. Last out wide, and that's a no-go straight to the keeper. On a long bomb from DC goes out of bounds. That'll be Denver's ball again. They get a free, easy possession. Denver now taking the ball up. It's out at the left with Castaneda and wing. Lauritsen now in the middle, goes to Last. Last can't quite swim through. Hernandez restarts. Lauritsen looking to distribute the ball out. Lauritsen takes his shot, and the keeper once again keeping everything out. A great stop for Garcia Uceda. Wolves unable to score all but 2 goals at this point as DC tacks their 7th on. Coach Kavanaugh probably now looking to the timeout spot. And I think we're about to see it. Bombo Drame is suited, sitting in the seat. Will he come in? Last to McCory. That's a no-go on that one. DC out wide through the center. It's Kinsler. He's held for a 6. Excuse me. He's held for a 9. Kinsler starts it off. He makes his point. Number 44. Mobauth. And that ball goes out. And yes, Coach Kavanaugh holding up the timeout card. And he will place that. Yes, Coach Kavanaugh will place the timeout. Timeout, Denver. And we'll go to a short commercial break.
When you're close, you can feel it. You try harder. And you don't give up. Because when you're close, you do more. For the people that matter to you. And for the future, which is just around the corner. Being close is the best place to be. And in Sunneborg, we are close.
And after that short commercial interlude, I personally think that I want to find my way to Sonderborg. Well, this Denver team, I can't believe it, is checking in Bombo Drame, number 20. He is the machine that keeps the glue of Denver moving. However, he has had noted injury issues on his right shoulder, which caused him to come out of the Somala Super Cup during the USATH campaign. It is certainly a interesting move to trust him out there. He is without a doubt one of the greatest players on the court right now. Is risking that elbow worth it? Shoulder, sorry. Well, with this new look from Denver and some new backup from yesterday, you can't help but think that Denver's scoring is going to get a little better. However, I will say my sources on the inside have DC marked as a potential upset candidate to win it all. Diplomats. Bombo Drame, almost an immediate impact. Castaneda can't convert. Behind the back drop pass to the pivot, though. I said number 20 earlier. Bombo Drame reprising his role as the number 10. DC. I'm sure everyone on the DC side of things probably wants me to stop mentioning Denver. I do apologize. I do live in Denver. I did play for Denver. I know that team. DC and the East Coast team, I don't have as much experience watching. However, they're currently impressing beyond a reasonable doubt here. Serious performances put in, notably by Kinsler, their center back. Drame through the middle, and he'll get that to go. He's immediately holding his arm. Drame's brother treks in, and that'll be a goal for the DC team. I appear to have been missing my cues on scores a little bit. It is currently 10-4. Apologies. Ten four now. Drame, Lauritsen out to the left back. Left back, pass to the center. Center, jump shot. Block DC's defense too strong. And that'll be a 9. Denver resets. And Denver almost getting that one away with it. Drame now. And no good to go on that. DC now. Their left back, Abdulrauf Muhammad, has been fire all game. And he is there too. DC 11-4. Just over 15 left in this competition. Denver now looking to start their attack. Denver's keeper, Darian Presley, more than impressed for U.S. Air Force Academy, his primary team at college nationals, helped them get all the way to their first final in my knowledgeable time here as a handball commentator, as a handball player. McCory, Lauderson tries to get down to Castaneda. DC gets the ball. DC on a breakaway now. DC 1-2 jump shot goal for the Diplomats. And looks like Jean Ballard will go down hard there. And the referee is giving a 2-minute to McCory. So we'll go ahead and put that one on the board. Denver source now. 11 for Diplomats did not get that one. That one did not count. However, McCory does sit. Denver. We are about on time. Yes, we are on time now. And the score is accurate. Wolves will have to have McCory sit for the next minute 45. Drama into the middle, and there's no one there. Amezcua flicks the ball directly out of bounds. DC to start. Kinsler in the middle with the ball. Goes out to Colladas Ireo. Kinsler to the right, and that one's kept out by Presley. Denver to restart now. Denver. Lauritsen. Presley. This certainly does not have the air of a men's elite game unless Denver gets their machine working. To their credit, DC, absolute lockdown defense. Nothing doing for most of the teams this weekend when they're down like this. We'll see if this DC defense can make a run deep into the finals. This has been absolutely astounding to see. These guys are stopping everyone and everything. I didn't get to watch much of their tournament last year. However, I do know one of their better players, I wouldn't say best, one of their better players, Alex Recker, unable to attend due to welcoming his first child. Congratulations, Alex. And that ball sails harmlessly into the side of the net. DC possession again. Are they going to triple? They have already tripled. Are they going to more than triple Denver's score? DC now. Ortega out at wing. And Denver unable to get that one. It'll stay at Puyadas Ireo's hands. And Denver, number 23, slow to get up on his own power. Hernandez checks in. Puyadas Ireo goes to Ortega. Goes back to Hayam. And Castaneda save. Denver now on the move. Roberto Alcaraz takes the middle spot. Alcaraz out wide. Lauritsen, and that's a no-go. If you heard on stream, that whistle is not ours. Not our whistle at all. DC on the move. 19 through. Hayam gets into the pivot. And a pivot goal for Verblicki. Diplomats 13, Wolves 4. Denver is going to need something in order to make this happen. They go to last. They go to Alcaraz. They go through, and that'll be a 2-minute. That'll be a 2-minute on number 22. And no 7, just the 2-minute. Number 22 will have to go down. BC, strong defense. Will it be as strong with stuff with just 5 men? Let's see. Last keeps that one in. Alcaraz collects. Alcaraz tries to break through. DC's defense doesn't let it happen. Washington. They're holding the ball. And they try to pitch it over. It does not go through. And that goal does. That will be a goal for Denver, I believe. Yep. Cool. I'd like to give another shout out to all of the volunteers that make this possible. It's extremely difficult and a lot of work to be on the back end of this kind of stuff. And any help we can get is more than appreciated. So for everyone doing everything from tables to turning cameras to running around and gathering supplies when asked, we'd like to, on behalf of USA Team Handball, thank you guys. And that will stay 13-5. Apologies for the false ad. As the time does click down, that timer is accurate. The Diplomats still with a couple guys left, not coming out. What? I don't even know what that meant. All right, Hernandez around. Doesn't get it to go. Denver with a 7. Denver now passing out. Alcaraz goes Lauritsen, goes to Hernandez, and he gets it. Rectifying his issue from last time. He scores that one. Denver now has 6 on the board with 8 minutes, about 8 minutes 54 on the clock. Go ahead and take some points off there. Not points. Take some time off there. And now the time is accurate. And a slight miss. Barely wasn't able to get it for Zach Greenstein. I believe that's his first action of the match. Zach Greenstein with some amazing gameplay during that Nationals for College tournament back in Raleigh just a couple weeks ago. Took his Pittsburgh Panthers all the way to the semifinal qualifiers. Wasn't able to pull it off against Carolina in a heartbreaker, losing on a last-second Kempa goal. And then turned it around and got very close to 3rd place, but ultimately fell just short of a medal. Pittsburgh, though, can hang their head high. Their first ever conference gold medal against Ohio State's Scarlet for the Trailblazers for the Trailblazer Conference earlier this year. Mo Ralph goes to the middle. DC outright, not going to go through. Presley able to keep that one out. And the rebound goes to Denver. Denver now. Looking for an answer, looking for an option. Lauritsen goes down to Hernandez, who drops the ball. And DC now on a breakaway. DC converts. And that's number 20, Charlie Jones, with that one. If I'm not mistaken, that was running through the center. I've been called that before. Worrying that he wasn't. Checking in for Denver, number 4, Dallas Earnsdorf. At least I believe that's Dallas Earnsdorf. I don't have a listed number 81 on this team. Six minutes and dropping fast here in the first half of this qualifier match. Alcaraz tries to find something. Interception, and it'll stay Denver's ball. Excellent attempt at an interception by Abdul Rauf Muhammad, though. And that'll go. Apparently it won't go. I thought that that was a goal. Perhaps not. Timeout taken by DC. And we will take a short commercial break.
When you're close, you can feel it. You try harder. And you don't give up. Because when you're close, you do more. For the people that matter to you. And for the future, which is just around the corner. Being close is the best place to be. And in Sunneborg, we are close.
And just like that, we are back to this final few minutes, just above 5 minutes left in your second round for Denver, first round for DC. Actually, no, it's the second round for. Did they play last night? No, I don't think they played last night. In this men's elite matchup between the Denver Wolves and the DC Diplomats. From the crowd, Owen Carroll says, "Let's go DC." Hey, you know what? It looks like DC is hearing your answer, or is answering your prayers, hearing your requests. DC's putting a smackdown on right now on Denver. We did see Bombo Drame came in for about 2 minutes, did get a shot, and then immediately walked out. Never a good sight. And as Denver is unable to score there, the goalie comes out for Denver. Goalie runs into his own player, but he does get it to go. I should say he gets an interception. I'm not really sure what the terminology is. The cool thing about being a commentator for the United States in a sport that nobody else who speaks English plays is that I kind of get to make it up as I go. All right, here we go. Out to the right for DC, and they get it. I'm getting a little confused by these scores. Was that not a goal? I'm going by the official scoreboard. Apparently, it is still 15, and also Denver now has 8. Darian Presley, the goalie, with a resounding run out to ensure possession on that one. He told me before this he's trying to make this his breakout tournament, and honestly, I think I've seen quite a lot out of him with an absolutely amazing college nationals for Mr. Presley, followed by a pretty entertaining first half of the goalie play. Second half, Denver was battered down. They just didn't have any gas left. And as good as a goalie as you are, there's really nothing you can do just taking that many shots. This game, however, he's been decent. I've liked what I've seen. And that'll be a timeout by the referees. And they're going to have a 2 minute to who minute. And now DC and the Wolves are all chatting, everyone talking, as it looks like Hernandez for the Wolves, number 26, will be sitting down. As yes, DC number 11 will step to the line. That's Juan Astagiano. If you are a friend or a family member of a team that I commentate and I get their name wrong, can you do me a huge favor and actually ask them to come and correct me? There's nothing I hate more than mispronouncing people's names on the stream. And Astagiano scores it 16 to 16 to 8. Um, I'm gonna have some questions for the scoreboard operators because was that not a goal? There we go. Finally, we see 16 to 8 on the score sheet. Alcaraz tries to break it through, gets a 9. Lass, Alcaraz out to the left back, not able to go. Lass again. Alcaraz trying to find something, can't find nothing. And that's it. That's a pickoff. DC on the breakaway. Astagiano. And the scoreboard operator correctly and quickly pushes that one. I'm also now just realizing that I have not adjusted the time. Oopsies. With about a minute 42 left. All right, that time score is accurate. As Hernandez does sit, the penalty is not accurate. We will go ahead and junk that one. And it is now 18-8 after DC converts on that one. And Denver converts on that one. Nicely done to the Wolves and to the Diplomats. Some high-flying, high-scoring action. Well, certainly a disappointing first half for the Denver Wolves. Certainly exactly what they drew up for the DC Diplomats. I will say once again, this Washington team has extremely high hopes for this tournament. You don't really ever say that. You don't ever really not say that about a men's elite team. No one comes here for funsies when they're playing up in that division. However, I have it on good authority from people who are not players that this DC team is in fact a sleeper for the men's elite final. We will see. We have not seen New York City yet. DC breakaway Alcaraz gets it to go at the buzzer beater. And that'll be the end of your first half. DC Diplomats out of Washington 20, Denver Wolves out of Colorado 9. We will go into a brief commercial break and we will return shortly.
Yeah, for me, it's already been over a 20-year show. And over those 20 years, it's been constant growth and learning through every situation, whether I was coaching a club in Europe or coaching a club in the United States or playing in the United States or playing in Europe. All of those things had a major impact on what the plan is and what, supports the dream. And that plan is now worldwide, and it's going through Denmark. For me, that plan starts with, taking care of the athletes that we currently had because they've just accomplished a lot. And how do we take care of those athletes? And then how do we take care of our staff? And then financially, how do we support ourselves? So those 3 points. And then comes the fact of, well, how do you build more Americans in the United States playing handball? And that's one of the greatest challenges we've ever had. And there's been highs and lows for that. And we are looking for a more consistent method for that, and that's what's going on right now. Well, for a lot of Americans, that dream is to be in the Olympics, And that's a huge dream, and a lot of it is more reality now because LA is in less than 2.5 years. So now, as that reality and people are facing it every day that goes by, people are realizing they're closer to their dream, and more players want to be involved. And I want to do everything that they want to, everything that those players want to accomplish. I want to help them, And there's more than 14 players that want to be in the Olympics. There's a lot more, and going through that and supporting each one of those players is part of the dream I have as well, supporting and then seeing them succeed in that dream. Well, representing the United States is something. It's like representing, if you're from Denmark, it's like when you represent Denmark and you get to put on the colors, you feel, hey, I don't want to lose this, and I want to represent correctly, and I want myself, my staff, and all our players to represent the United States and feel that pride as we, chase not only just this Olympics, but chase the next Olympics after that and the World Championships. And it's going to require a lot of sacrifice from a lot of different people, myself and a lot of players. Well, the great thing about, being in Denmark and, seeing all the different clubs and the players and the youth and, male and female players, and it's that you can really focus in one area and focus on one thing and, focus on handball, where for me, that's kind of like where Florida will be. Right now I'm recruiting athletes from all over, but as I get associated into Florida, where I am in the Treasure Coast, is, to focus on that area and now really incorporate some handball structure in that area. Now it takes time, and, we have a facility, and that's what I will encourage. And I'm encouraging, any club in the United States, whether it's, Cal Heat or New York or LA or Chicago or all the clubs, Ohio State, these college clubs, North Carolina, they all have an infrastructure and they're building within their area, So that's kind of, if you can support those clubs and support, the area and let them work, that's going to be a huge step for handball. For me, the answer is pretty easy. Focus on where you are in the United States, and do what you can in there, and just do your one job well. And when you do that one job, everything sort of, the dominoes start taking effect, because people want to be a part of successful things.
USA Team Handball presents What is handball? Handball is the best sport you probably didn't know existed. It's fast-paced, high-scoring. It's a very physical, full-contact sport. It has little to no breaks. It's non-stop action. It requires excellent athleticism, hand-eye coordination, and ball skills. Handball is the sport Americans have been training for their whole lives without even knowing it. It's been an Olympic sport since 1972. Let's get into a quick breakdown of handball. There's 7 players on the court at a time per team. That's 6 field players and 1 goalie. It's played in 2 30-minute halves. The team with the most goals after the second half wins. Games are high scoring. There's approximately 50 plus goals scored each match. A handball is a few inches smaller than a volleyball, but built like a soccer ball. This ball can be thrown over 80 miles per hour, almost as fast as a major league fastball. You can take up to 3 steps before needing to dribble, pass, or shoot. The semicircle surrounding the goal is the goalie area, or 6-meter line. That's approximately 20 feet, and only the goalie is allowed in this area. Goals are scored by throwing the ball into the goal from outside of the 6-meter line, or diving into it and throwing before you hit the ground. Handball is a very popular sport around the world. There are 11 million teams, 31 million players, and 167 different countries playing handball. The most recent handball championships welcomed over 900,000 spectators and over 1.6 billion TV views. Handball isn't just an amateur sport. There are professional handball players based in European leagues that compete in the Champions League, just like soccer. Examples of world-class handball clubs that compete in the Champions League include the likes of FC Barcelona and PSG. Here are some headlines regarding handball's presence in America. We don't seem to be the only ones who think the US should be playing handball. Take a look at some of these tweets. Do you think you have what it takes to be an Olympic handball player for the US? Your athletic career doesn't have to be over after high school or college sports. You can still compete at an international and Olympic level. Imagine being awarded a gold medal in the Olympics representing the United States. So we ask you this. Why aren't you playing handball? This is America's next great sport. This is handball.
When you're close, you can feel it. You try harder. And you don't give up. Because when you're close, you do more. For the people that matter to you. And for the future, which is just around the corner. Being close is the best place to be. And in Sunderborg, we are close.
Discover a treasured part of Florida called the Jewel of the Treasure Coast. For good reason. A fusion of coastal old Florida and new adventures, where sunset dining intertwines with vibrant local art scenes. And tea times meet game days for effortless enjoyment. Uncovered treasure in St. Lucie, Florida.
And after that little bit of a commercial interlude, I hope you're all caught up to snuff. There will be a quiz after this on the future of the U.S. Residency program down in Florida, as well as the name of what the Danish city who sponsors us is. Can you pronounce it? Can you spell it? That and more after this. No, I'm just kidding with you. Well, here we are. The second half of this Denver versus DC beatdown. We will see if Denver can manage a little bit better in their second half than they did in the first. We tried our hardest to get the score set up so that it counts and not down. Unfortunately, this one does not. I think I am going to go ahead and tomorrow, once we have a little bit more time, we're going to make the decision and swap over to the other scoreboard. It looks the same, which is nice, but it counts up and not down. And I want it to count up because that's what handball looks like. And now as we wait for the referee's whistle, both teams are on the court. DC's team, more than anything, their defense, another level. No international matches today. A lot of international players, though. Nearly 50%, actually slightly over 50% of all participants in this year's U.S. Open Championship identify as a country's nationality other than the United States. Now, I will say that's pretty good for the United States. We still have 50%, and this is an extremely international game. But if international connections are something you're interested, if friends who can teach you a little bit about the rest of the world, something that interests you, handball is the sport for you. As Denver goes to the line, and that'll be Alcaraz to take, and he'll sink it to bring Denver back to 10 down with about 29-14 left. DC now searching to their right back, goes down to the left, goes down to the left wing jump, spin shot, and it's off the post. DC had an opportunity there, just couldn't make it happen. Now Denver again. Wolves on the hunt. They go out to Drame. Surveying the court. That player was standing out of bounds. No one saw it. That's totally fine by Denver's means. And that's a goal for Wolves. And that's a goal for DC, almost an immediate retort. Down through the pivot there. Number 67, Jeff Langrock. Big man on campus, Jeff Langrock. And apologies as I was looking down at my phone for some important live chat updates. Looks like there's a DC supporter in the chat, but that's about it. 34 people online watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. The District of Columbia will get this attack started with number 19 in the middle. That's Muhammad Aziz Riyam. Out to the right, number 15, Colin Canning. And out to the left, number 44, Abdul Rauf Muhammad. The sideline, I should say the fan bleacher is currently occupied by what looks to be a mixture of North Carolina players as well as friends and family. Now Denver on the attack after DC unable to penetrate through. 21-11 still a score here. McCory over to the center back. Center back dribbles out of danger. Interplay with the backs. Wing tries to come up. And left back takes a shot that's kept out by the goalie. Keeper, long pass to keeper. Keeper to keeper. Keeper saved it. Denver on the attack again. They've now gotten away with 2 back-to-back DC possessions without a score. And that one is called inside. Denver does not score on that. DC now taking it up the middle. DC looking dangerous. They've had these guys' marks. Are they going to keep it? And that'll be a 9 for Denver. Excuse me, a 9 for DC. Denver now looking around. Castaneda. I'm seeing a little bit of stepping out, but that'll be a 9 for Denver there. DC strong on defense. Certainly one of the most powerful defenses we've seen yet in this tournament, especially on court 1 here. Not letting anything really through in the middle there. Very quick to respond. They're closing down their gaps well. And Alcaraz tries for the bowling alley shot, doesn't get it on that one. DC comes away harmed or unharmed. DC now on the move. We go to Muhammad. 19 shot goal for DC. Number 44 there, Muhammad. Sorry, number 19 there, Hayam. DC now in distribution. DC looking, trying to find something open. Denver coming away from that one clean. Next up on court 1, right here where I'm seated at, we have NYC taking on Carolina Blue. That'll be a heck of a game, if I do say so myself. And that ball rolls harmlessly out of bounds. Denver's possession. Actually, apologies, no, it'll be DC possession. Estadios Unidos is playing against Greenland in the men's gold match tomorrow, Saturday. That game will be streamed right here, just like all the others. As Lauritsen looks to set up this attack. And Wolves try to get in through the wing. They'll get a 9 on it. Denver now pacing. Passing it around, trying to get some distribution going. Lauritsen, bowling alley shot, and it's good. Wolves 12, DC 22. Is this game out of reach? I'm just going to say it. No. There is no reason that Denver can't spark fire, spark magic here. As I now realize it's actually 23-12. Let's not worry about that. Everyone misspeaks. I am certainly just a person. And Jones goes down to the right back, and he gets it to go. Diplomats 24, Wolves 12. XPLV Up asks, is there a live ticker somewhere? Unfortunately, no. That is beyond the technological capabilities of USA Team Handball at this time. We will have all 4 games live streamed. We have 2 right now going. I have to set the other 2 up myself, hopefully after this game. However, the 2 backcourts will not have a scoreboard on them. That is a limitation of the technology. We would love to have that kind of tech. You would be mind-boggled to find out what that kind of stuff takes to set up and operate correctly. Not to mention at that point, you're talking about a little more than just volunteer scoreboard operators, if you catch my drift. Anyways, DC on a breakaway. DC going out to their wing, and he gets it. Diplomats 25, Denver 12. Seeing some powerful, powerful handball out of this DC side. They definitely might be in the front running, of my opinion, of who's going to win next. We will see how they close this one out, and of course, next up we get to watch NYC take on Carolina. That would be Carolina's second match as well, I believe. Could be wrong. I believe NYC's first. I've been wrong before. I like to always add the qualifiers. I just know for certain Carolina played last night, and that ball goes harmlessly over the net. DC now on the attack. They pass it out. Hayam in the middle. Muhammad out to the left. To their right, Charlie Jones. Jones, empty cross. Last tries to intercept it, doesn't get there in time. Jones down to the right wing. Doesn't go. Jones again through the middle. Muhammad. And interception. Denver gets it. Denver interception. Denver pops it over. Jump, shot, and the goalie saves. What looked like a great setup by Denver ends in disappointment as number 98, Ferrati, doesn't let anything past him. DC from the wing themselves, and they'll get that one to go. 26-12, our score here now, with the timer being just about bang on accurate, 19 minutes about remaining. And that'll be a timeout, not for us. That will not be a timeout for us. I got pump faked by that one. I know our camera operator did too. I thought for sure that was over. Nope. That is in fact on our ball. DC turnover, DC breakaway, DC 22 going 1-2 jump, and that'll do it. The Diplomats 27, Wolves 12. Denver now starts the attack. Alcaraz in the middle. Goes out to the right, goes out to the left, goes down to the pivot. Pivot gets the ball. Castaneda out wide. And Castaneda tries to break through at the 2 slot, isn't going to go. Denver now. Passing around. Lauritsen in the right spot. Goes to McCory. McCory jump shot. Blocked again. Ferrati keeping everything out of the back of his goal. And Alcaraz now playing up in a 5-1 set, trying to pressure that offensive line. And pivot goal. (28-12) the score here today, as Denver Wolves have no response to an overpowered and oversized DC squad. This is certainly the best DC squad I have ever seen. These guys are big, they're quick, they're accurate, and probably more than anything, they are organized. Denver now trying to break through, unable to do so. They get a 9. Set it up again. Denver through the middle, get one to go. 13. DC now setting up the play from the backfield. Interplay in the backs. They're looking for something. They're looking for anything. And they're going for an overload play now. And they do not get it. Kept out by Pulcher. And that second one isn't. DC 29. Denver now on the attack. They'll line up and do their job. Wolves going out right, and Lauritsen's shot stopped by Ferrati. Denver now unable to stop DC previously, and they let a pivot through there too. That'll be 30-13. Denver with no response. They're still out there. They're still trying. You got to give them credit for that. Amezcua in the middle. And that shot is stopped by the keeper. It'll be DC ball. DC on a fast break. Going down to their pivot again, and he bobbles possession. Denver getting off easy with that one. Lauritsen to start this one off again. Going all the way down. I don't have a number for 81. I think he's Dallas Ehrensdorf. I'm not certain on that. Noah Jones asks, is there a mercy rule? Yes, there is a mercy rule in handball. When the clock hits 0, the game stops. And that is out of bounds off of the wing for Denver. That'd be a timeout taken by the DC side in possession now. Your score currently sits at 30-13, and we will take a short commercial break.
When you're close, you can feel it. You try harder. And you don't give up. Because when you're close, you do more. For the people that matter to you. And for the future, which is just around the corner. Being close is the best place to be. And in Sunderborg, we are close.
And the buzzer has beeped. The ref has whistled. I guess the ref is also kind of beeping in a way. And we are back yet again for the final 15 of the DC Diplomats versus the Denver Wolves. 14-25. Yep, we're about exact accurate on the scoreboard right now that you see. And that's another goal for DC as they get a rising shot on the right side. Denver restarts, tries to find something. Looking around now, distributing the ball, trying to find a way through. They go to Alcaraz, they go to Last. Last kept out by the keeper. I've been informed recently that the keeper actually plays for his home team, the Charlotte Flight. They aren't quite at the point where they're able to travel yet, but always cool to see new teams forming, always cool to see new guys coming out. And a double save for number 98, Elias Ferrari. That is a great stop. I'm not sure if that specifically is the keeper, if he is the guy, but one of the keepers for DC is, in fact, a Charlotte guy. DC down. Greenstein gets it to go. You got to think Zach Greenstein is really interested in tasting some silverware for this one, especially after that that painful semifinal loss to Carolina. I know that he really wanted to go take a look at that Carolina team yesterday. They got gobsmacked by, I believe it was Nyack, and Diplomats putting another one on there. 33 now for the team marked as the home team. Nobody's really a home team here. Diplomats, DC is quite far from Chicago. Wolves, Denver is very far. I drove here from Denver. I think some of the guys did from the team as well. All's fair in love and handball. That's what I've said for my entire life. Totally. And DC stops another one. Greenstein on a move. 1, 2, 3, jump. And it's a lob pass, and it's not kept out by Polcher. That's another goal for the Diplomats. Denver thoroughly defeated at this point. You got to wonder if they're just going to try to do something here interesting. Keep it fun, keep it engaging at least. Once again, they're not stopping. They're not putting in the backups. They're playing all the way through. Got to give them credit for that. Drame, side shot, kept out. Parati is keeping everything out for this DC side. I wouldn't call him the man of the match. I'm kind of torn on that. I feel like Hayam, maybe even Astagiano, but Ferrati has had a great game here today. As Zach Greenstein points out to me that Ferrati has been very disgusting this game. And DC still with possession. Um, they got Baptiste Kinsler in there once again at the center back role. He's also definitely worthy of a shout out after this one. DC goes down to the pivot, not able to make it happen. DC out wide on their left. They try to break through. That's going to be a timeout. I saw what the ref is seeing. That's a 2-minute for Nick Hernandez after he does definitely a neck wrap there on the DC player. 10:28 remain. We got a full minute off somehow. I'm going to go ahead and add in some time there. Sorry. And the Wolves. Oh, I miscounted one. The Wolves at 13, Diplomats at 35. Some cries, some shouts from the left side of things. I see the Greenland national team warming up. The last I checked, they aren't playing today. Open provisional draft schedule. Name of our wonderful meeting here. I see now. Ports 3 and 4 will be reserved after this game slot for Norca practice times, letting the guys get some reps in there. Denver out to the right. And they try to find down to the pivot, not able to do so, going on the run now. DC on the run, running riot. Greenstein blocked by Poulter. Will not go through. And Denver now taking the ball back out. 88. Unknown name. Know his name is Drame at least. Not had the breakout game of his brother. Once again, Bombo Drame did come in for a very short amount of time, leaving almost immediately after. You only hope that whatever kind of injury he has, it's something that's going to be fixed with time and rest, and that he doesn't re-exacerbate it. Lauritsen. Drama in the middle. Alcaraz. Out to the right. They get the shot, and it's no go. Wolves still down a player. That is accurate. By my count, 30-some seconds left. We'll see about that. And it looks like that is a no, actually. Alcaraz comes out now. We'll go ahead and erase that one. And that attempt by Denver goes wide. The New York Team Handball Club is warming up behind me, looking at me. Hi. And to my right, I see a bunch of fans. NYC going to be taking on Carolina after this one. Should not be a close game. I hate to give my predictions to the crowd so upfront and honest, but NYC looking to retain their title after last year, they are not going to face any opposition worth a consideration in this DC or in this upcoming Carolina match. They do have to face Nyack later in their group. That will be an exceptionally good game as DC lays another one on them. But as for NYC Carolina, I hate to say it's written before it started, but I don't personally have a too much of a concern there if I was a New York fan. A jumping shot by Drame, unable to go through, goes down to McCory, who does get it through. And that'll get 14 on the board for the Wolves. Greenstein. Back to Canning. Out to Kinsler at the center. Canning now. And that one, they get it to go from the far side back. Number 18. I don't see a listed number 18 on this, so I'm just gonna assume that he's there somewhere in spirit, perhaps. Denver down to the center, and they'll get that one. A nice pivot goal by Noila Castaneda. Interception now by Denver. Castaneda again, and he's going to get it again. 37-16. $33 people on this live chat. Got some pretty good handball going here, at least in the last few seconds. Certainly some great handball by DC as they slam another one in. 38-16 now the score. It's not often that you see an elite team get 20-pieced. Denver does have the injury bug this year. I do understand the excuse, as they do rocket another one in the goal there. It still probably gives them only a little bit of some consolation. As for the rest of this one was over by halftime. We're now in the last 5 minutes. As a reminder, all of our streams throughout the day will be on the USA Team Handball homepage, not on any other homepage. I know we set one up. We decided against it, wanted to drive traffic to the main page. Why not try to get that thing up and running, get as much of a good game on there as we can. And interception by Zach Greenstein. Kunstler has it, goes out. Greenstein passes down to his man, and Ortega almost gets that goal. That'll be a timeout. A timeout after some hard defense by number 88, Drame. He'll have to sit for the next two. And Trip Ortega lining up to take the shot. Mr. number 10 himself. And that's a goal for Trip, puts him on 39-17. Ortega, I would like to give a personal huge shout out to Mr. Ortega. He has been instrumental in getting the goals set up. DC donated some of their goals to make this tournament happen. We could not do it without you, Trip. Last now, out to Alcaraz. Alcaraz tries to swim through, doesn't get it. And that's called a regular no. I forgot to get the timer moving. We're now at 3 minutes 31. Apologies, it does mess with the 2 minute. I'll just go ahead and take that one away. We're just down to right now. 39-18 after Wolves is able to convert on that one. And now it's time for DC to go back into an attacking phase. They look to their left. They're going all around the world. They're going for an overload. Overload does break through, and they do get it. The DC Diplomats hang 40. As Denver, no response. They're trying everything they can right now. Still down that player. And Poulter able to keep that long shot out. I know Ferrati wanted a goal on the score sheet. He's not going to get it this time. Alcaraz goes to Lass. Out to McCory. McCory down to Santiago, who is stepping inside. That'll be DC ball. 2 minutes, 12 seconds. 2 minutes, 8 seconds now. the time on the score sheet. Score sheet. That's a new one, Kurt. The time on the score bug is accurate to reality. And once again, DC 41 off a goal by Zachary Greenstein. For everyone watching at home, hopefully Zach's mom, yes, he did in fact tell me Greenstein, not Greenstein. I make a point to care about these players' names as they should be cared about. These guys are doing everything they can to bring us some serious entertainment, all for the love of the game. And I think that that deserves some recognition and support. Castaneda in the middle goes down to the pivot, gets one to go. Denver 19, DC 41. Just over a minute left in this competition. After that, we're going to have a second one. Jake Glass interception. Jake Glass goes down to his man on wing, and they get it again. Denver gets to 20. Nice little successful goals back to back. The Wolves have a lot to be happy with that succession, especially Jake Glass on the interception. Nice play there, Jake. 15 down to 52 over to the left. Left back, far shot. That goes into the crowd. Don't know if he knows that they're not players, at least in this competition. And Wolves got everything for nothing here as DC just absolute domination. Diplomats 42 after a nice long ball pass. 10 seconds left. Are the Denvers going to go for a last shot? Is the Wolves going to go for a last shot? Or is this one over? Wolves going for it, and they're not going to get it. That is going to be it. The DC Diplomats knock out the Denver Wolves 42-20 after a hard-fought battle by DC, putting on some huge displays of athleticism, size, physicality. And of course, I have to eat my words. There is one remaining shot. Don't worry, you are all fine. You're all fine. You're completely fine. You're fine. It's up there for a reason. All right, and up next, New York City takes on Carolina Blue. We're going to go ahead and end this stream.